And that was Steph Curry's game-tying shot to send it into overtime last night against the Pelicans. Oh, what was your reaction when you first saw it?
My reaction was, I have no idea why he was uncovered. First of all, there needs to be a body on Curry at all times. My second reaction was, I can't believe he actually just took that shot. And third of all, if he's gonna take it, it's gonna go in. But I was shocked. I could not believe it. I thought the Pelicans were finally gonna be able to come away with the game. Curry decided no.
They led double digits throughout that.
Yeah, 20-point lead going into the fourth quarter. You can't blow that lead. They didn't deserve to win.
There's no way they get a game now.
No shot.
That's
completely deflating.
The equivalent to the Rangers a couple years ago in the World Series, and then the Red Sox in '86.
Absolutely, that's completely deflating.
You can't come back after a deflating game like that. And if you do come back, or even like the Spurs against the Heat a couple years ago after the Ray Allen shot.
Yep.
It's if you come back from that and win the Game 7. Well, in this case, it's not Game 7. It's the brink of elimination.
You're right.
You deserve it. You deserve a ton of credit.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
honestly, in my opinion, I was not that. I'm still surprised it went in, but I'm not that surprised.
Yeah,
because it's Curry.
Because it's Curry. That's exact. I think it's a series.
Same thing with the Ray Allen shot.
I think.
I wasn't that surprised with it.
I think it's a series of events that led up to it. The fact I don't know why he didn't look for a better shot off the impact. He had 9 seconds.
I think the thing with Steph is that, in his mind, any shot's a good shot for him because that's how good of a shooter he is.
Because honestly, it's true.
The fact that they let him get 2 shots off with I don't know how many seconds left when you're up by 3
shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be happening.
It's my gosh. All right, so
unbelievable.
That's the biggest surprise. Not surprised. That was the biggest. That was
moment,
the best.
I'd say,
that was the biggest moment last night.
Yeah, easily.
Bulls and Bucks went into double overtime yesterday.
It's good to see Rose playing well. It really is.
Everybody's happy.
It really is great to see him playing well. I'm not. I mean, I like what I see from the Bucks though. They're going to be good the next couple of years with their draft picks.
They don't even have Jabari.
I know, but
and Larry Sanders quit on them.
I know. Think about if they kept him. What the defense could have been like.
They have a ton of money getting cleared up for that, so they could sign anybody. And J Kidd,
at first
he's a good coach.
I looked at the Michael Carter Williams trade and I thought, what are they doing? And then I thought
I still don't like it.
I don't know if I like it per se either, but he plays like Kidd played, and I feel like that's why the move's going to work a little bit because he can kind of grow under him.
If he could be more efficient with his field goal percentage, it's under 40%. He's one of the worst.
Yeah, if you're a point guard, you don't need to be. He's a slasher. He's a slasher, but he takes terrible shots.
Well, he'll get. J Kidd wasn't the greatest shooter in the world when he came out, but then he eventually got really good. You know, it depends on coaching.
Absolutely.
Coaching really develops it. Same thing with Dwayne Wade when he came in the league. I'm not comparing Dwayne Wade to
not
Carter
even
Williams,
close.
but I'm just saying that Dwayne Wade was not known for shooting, and then he got sort of a shot, and then he got the knee injury, and then the shot was pretty much gone.
Yeah, right.
But anyways, I couldn't have been more wrong about the Dallas Mavericks. I had them in 7, and I think they might just get swept now.
I think it looks like it's going to be a sweep, mostly because
there's a chance.
Parsons gone. Rondo, that whole situation, we saw it coming from weeks ago, though. His attitude towards Carlisle, clashing with him, he doesn't want to be there. Carlisle said he's not going to be back. I mean, it's just, well, you don't want. They had a shot to have an incredible team for the playoffs, and he just threw that out the window. It's like he doesn't even. First 2 games, he looked absolutely awful. I mean, especially game 2. The defense, you're giving Felt an open shot. He just doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
That's the shame.
And I know it being a Celtics fan, he just doesn't care. And there was always problems with him when Doc Rivers was still the coach, and then Ray Allen left. A good reason was because of Rondo, and Rondo was just a pain.
Right.
There was the birthday thing last year when he didn't want to get on the flight, and Brad Stevens is. He's such a great head coach.
Absolutely.
You can't even notice it. I'm not saying Carlisle's not a great coach because he is a great coach, but there's a fine line between Carlisle's trying to win a championship and Brad Stevens knows he's rebuilding and Rondo's not even going to stay anyways. So his mentality was probably just like, okay, just a couple more weeks with Rondo and he's gone.
Yeah, that's a shame because he's such a good player.
I used to call him the best pure point guard in the league. I thought he was at one point. When he plays his best, he's just as good as Chris Paul.
He was putting up triple doubles easily, and now he just
that game against the Knicks where he almost went 20, 20, and 20.
It's amazing. His attitude is terrible. It really is.
Well, you know what? Let him go to La La Land.
Yeah,
and let
they'll
get
overpay.
Set back.
They'll overpay for him and whatever it is. So because
who do you call it? Jim Buss is gonna wanna make a big splash. He's like, oh, Lakers fans don't hate me, so he'll do some
Yeah,
irrational move
he'll
like give Rondo obscene amount of money.
with
And
an
it
aging
really
Kobe.
and they're probably going to draft Winslow if
Which-
that's the case, because why would they even bother signing Rondo afterwards if they get Russell and Moutier, or even say they jump up? And
Something
get
for that. Jordan
Poole
Clarkson
Jones.
looks good. Jordan Clarkson closed the year out. The last few weeks of the year, I wouldn't. If I was, don't even make a move for Rondo if I'm the Lakers. Ride Clarkson out and try to make him your new point
It's
guard.
also inflated because there's no one else.
well, I mean, this
on
is
that
this is
team,
true
too.
also. But the guy, he
like
has
Carter
the talent.
Williams numbers.
I mean, this is true.
I
but
like him. He was just a lot of people
Yeah,
like the pick in he was second round.
I mean, he played well, but there's no doubt they're gonna overpay for Rondo. I don't think anyone else is gonna really.
they're gonna overpay for somebody soon. Say Love doesn't want to stay. Say they get ousted next round.
I think
Cleveland.
Love's gonna stay. I think that whole thing with if he doesn't win, he's gonna leave. I doubt it. He doesn't. He's not
It
that
just
type of
takes
guy.
Time. People
Of
are
course,
so
you can't just
impatient.
come onto a team and you're gonna win the first year.
That's why I didn't have Cleveland winning this year.
It
takes so much
it takes time. And now the chemistry's there now for him.
it's
now
coming
everybody's
together,
healthy.
but I'm not.
I don't
as a
know,
Celtics fan, they don't look that impressive to me.
I
The
gotta
Celtics
give
can't
the
rebound.
Celtics a lot of credit.
They can't
They hung
rebound
with
for
them.
their life,
I
and
know,
they're
they're
keeping
gonna-
every game within 10 points. And
Yep.
I'm at least happy about that.
Yeah,
We don't
absolutely.
even have a star.
Right.
The closest thing to a star was second place Isaiah Thomas for Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah,
Marcus Smart's
which is
a
another
rookie.
thing that he should have won.
He should have won that. Everyone
Easily.
knows he should have
Easily.
won that. Whatever. Get compensation, Toronto, because Toronto's not going to win anything.
Whoever wins that series, which looks like it'll probably be Washington, they're getting bounced.
Yeah.
They're getting bounced the next
And
round
I had
anyway.
Toronto winning. I had Toronto
It's
winning.
like
in
Toronto,
7.
they were so strong to start out the year. Then they hit
They're-
that lull.
they're
They
an
had the
overrated
injuries
team.
to DeRozan and whatever else.
They
and they just fell
relied.
apart.
They relied too much on a guy who shows up every 6 games,
Right.
which is DeRozan.
Yep.
And then they're just playing a really weak division.
Yeah.
Brooklyn's poor. Boston was still sub 500. They're
Yeah.
40-42. Okay. Sixers,
Obviously-
Knicks.
obviously
Enough
the-
said there.
Exactly.
Does there
Right.
really have to go there?
Nope,
No,
not
I
at
don't
all.
think the Mets almost have as many wins as the Knicks
Yeah,
have this year.
that's bad.
That's the Mets, and we're in April.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Mets fan, and they already have that. It's already there.
But I still think that whoever wins that series, probably Washington, they're gonna get bounced. Like they're not all that impressive either. They're beating the Raptors, who aren't playing well at all.
They're not. But
John Wall's
but
played great, but
John
that's
Wall's
about
played
the
great.
extent of it.
Bradley Beal hasn't taken that step.
He still hasn't taken that step.
Just like Blake
and
Griffin
you have to
hasn't
wonder, will
taken
he
that-
ever?
Well, Bradley
Well,
Beal's still really young.
Griffin's
I'm more
taking that
concerned
step.
about Blake.
Griffin's
I don't
taking
know.
that step, I
don't
think.
know. He
We'll
should
see.
be dominating Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
I'm not saying, and
He's
it's
lots-
not a knock on Duncan,
because he
but
needs to
he's
develop
gotta-
his mid-range game, which he has developed it, but not to the point where he should have.
It's not a part where he can just rely on it and it's consistent.
Nope. And that's why they're not going to win either, because you can't rely on Chris Paul to do absolutely everything. I mean, DeAndre Jordan.
well,
DeAndre Jordan, another incredible year again, but
Chris Paul is Peyton.
yeah,
And what is up? Oh, Kershaw. We'll talk about that later. But
Right.
geez, Kershaw's above a 4 ERA right now. Oh man,
still early. I mean,
he's got to get
you
the
know how
monkey
it-
off his back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the A-Rod thing.
Bumgarner, him and
Playoffs.
Bumgarner, both of them. Him
Well,
and Bumgarner, both.
Bumgarner's got 3 reasons why he shouldn't be worried.
Well, that's
Kershaw,
Kershaw
yeah,
does
you
have
could
some
say
reasons.
he
he's still
has-
young though too. You got to remember.
Yeah.
But you can't really always put age
It's different.
into
It's
account.
different.
When you've been in the league for 4
When-
or 5 years, you can't really put into the fact that you're 25 or 26. You've still been in the league 4 or 5 years.
I get the championship thing, but it's about showing up. LeBron showed up in the playoffs. It's just down the stretch, in the finals against the Mavericks.
One person
And
can't do it all.
he didn't have the great team around him in
Right,
Cleveland.
that
We
he
get
has
that.
now in Miami.
What's Kershaw's excuse? They're spending a ton of money. It's not like Dodgers are gonna
But they
not
threw
score him
they
runs.
threw away a little bit of it too this year. Now
They
I
threw
mean-
away a ton of money. Kershaw can prevent one thing, and that's runs going up on the board. Or even, yes, I know there's errors and stuff, but
Right.
But if you're in the playoffs, chances are you're not a bad fielding team, or you at
Absolutely.
least hope you wouldn't be.
absolutely, it's not even the fact that all of that. He just did not pitch well in the playoffs. That's the
He didn't.
bottom
he
line.
just
is
didn't,
that
and he hasn't. And
So-
you know what?
There's no one else to blame for that other than himself. It's not
There
like there
is
were errors and
exactly.
stuff.
That's
it was
the
him.
thing.
And you could score, 8 runs a game, but if you're still giving up as many runs as he gave up in the playoffs, it doesn't matter.
He's not. He wasn't giving them a chance to win.
Yeah, exactly.
like he usually
Right.
does.
Right.
It's just he thinks it's a different monster, and I don't think he understands it, but he doesn't know how to contain it yet. And maybe that's Donnie Baseball's fault in a way, because Donnie never did it either.
Yeah.
Donnie never came through. It could trickle down.
Yeah, it could.
None
Absolutely.
of the players on the
Absolutely.
roster except the shortstop has won a World Series, and
Being
I
Jimmy
don't even
Rollins.
want to mention his name because I don't like him.
Well, there you go. But
As a Mets fan, anybody can understand. But anyways, enough about Kershaw because this is playoffs for the NBA. Anthony Davis, even though they lost,
Looks great.
he's honestly the best player since LeBron to come out of the
I think
draft.
so.
I think
really
he's the most talented two-way player.
I think so too.
He's the best. I
think
know
so,
everybody
too.
says KD. KD's won an MVP.
Yeah.
But KD cannot do the things defensively.
No, absolutely not.
AD can.
And it's a shame that he's not always healthy. That he misses chunks of games. And it's not just everybody has
it's
an injury.
like shoulders stuff.
Yeah, but it's not like
I think they baby him a little bit too.
I think so too. And it's not like everybody has that injury. Oh, they miss 4 or 5 games, but he has spurts where he'll miss 6 games, and then 8 games later he misses another 4 games, and that hurts you in the long run. That's why a lot of people didn't give him any recognition for Defensive Player of the Year, which I don't think he should have got. I think it should have been between Draymond and Jordan.
Kawhi and Draymond.
Kawhi, they're all deserving, but I think Draymond and Jordan were more deserving. In that sense,
I think DeAndre's just hyped because of his athleticism.
Yeah,
if you really think about it,
I still think Draymond Green should have won it. I think that he really got snubbed.
It's okay. Draymond,
but you know
I
what?
bet if Golden State goes all the way and wins the whole thing, I'm pretty sure he'll forget about it. He'll forget
it's
about
not looking
it.
good for the Spurs right now.
He'll forget about it. Spurs, no. My picks.
I think they're gonna win both at home. I don't think they're gonna lose at home.
You don't think
But
so?
I think it could go 7. I think the Clippers will take it if it goes 7 because those the 4 home games.
No. We'll see. Clippers aren't built for the playoffs. They're just
I don't think so either. But that's very true.
Same thing with Portland. They're just fun to watch. They're like the Phoenix Suns with D'Antoni's teams.
Right.
They're great to watch during regular season, or even you could say I own a basketball. Great to watch, fun, but are they really built to win a whole thing?
No.
By the way they play.
It's a shame too because Chris Paul he deserves a ring somewhere. It didn't work out in New Orleans. Was going to be a Laker, then he was not a Laker.
You know what?
He's the best point guard we've seen.
Big deal. We're gonna complain like if Lakers fans complain about the Chris Paul.
Yeah,
thing.
well,
please,
what was he like?
please,
30,
you had
38
number
minutes?
1 overall draft
exactly.
picks. You got James Worthy when you had Magic Johnson. What happened with the
You had-
Celtics when they
you
got a
had
top
Kobe,
draft pick?
right.
He died. He overdosed. Here, Reggie Lewis died of cardiac arrest. He was like an all-star player, But whatever. Lakers, you didn't get a player. You're gonna overpay for one anyways in a couple of years.
It's just it's the Laker way. So
you handcuffed yourselves by giving Kobe 25 for 2. On the extension. I don't want to hear it. But in other news, Scott Brooks has been fired from OKC.
I'm baffled.
Finished after 7 years, 338 and 207 record.
Best win
took
percentage
him to the
from a
finals
coach.
in 2012.
Not to win finals.
And a tough Western Conference with 2 young superstars. I think it's for the better of the franchise.
I think that the Thunder organization is showing a little hypocrisy here because they traded Harden. What was it 4 years ago now? When they didn't need to, they were looking for the future. If they kept him, so you sacrificed a couple other pieces.
Even that good anyways.
No,
he's not.
He started
not
off very strong,
and
he too isn't staying healthy. But you obviously can't predict injuries.
None of them
first of all,
OKC.
Westbrook was the only one that was
the
staying
rosters.
healthy. Westbrook was the only one that was.
Had a couple knee surgeries past couple years.
Yep.
Cantor just got surgery again. That came up in the news. Although they're not in the playoffs, but is it such a coincidence KD's got foot injuries? Maybe it has something to do with Scott Brooks' philosophy, or maybe it's just the way these new athletes are being brought up. Because even in the MLB, you go we have these fascinating pitchers that throw 95 plus, but they keep tearing their UCLs. Yeah, it might be mechanics. But
a lot of it's throwing programs.
Derrick Rose too. You could say with the knee injuries.
We could throw Adidas out there.
All these great athletes, and they're having injury problems. But it depends on how they take care of their body.
Right. Which, not to say none of those athletes don't take care of their body, but it's a shame in the Thunder's case because Scott Brooks he's had a winning season every single year in Oklahoma City. Everybody acts like the Thunder had a terrible year. They had a bad year because Westbrook was hurt.
It's the Yankee standard.
Durant's been hurt. Ibaka was hurt. The whole roster was hurt. Roberson, whether he's good or not, he was still out, and he plays great defense. The whole roster's been hurt. They're acting like, oh man, you only had Westbrook and you couldn't win anything. Wow, you're gone.
You missed
Durant for over half the year.
It's the Yankees effect. Given their roster and the talent they have, they expect to be at a certain point.
There's higher expectations.
Scott Brooks has not taken them to that point. Injuries, yes or no. They haven't been there. They haven't won anything. That's what they see it as, and they look at it as, are we going to be able to improve in the future with Scott Brooks? And at this point, at this rate, it doesn't look like they're going to keep both KD and Westbrook.
Yeah,
because in their minds right now,
they
they're
can't
not
win
going to be able
together.
to play.
They will not be.
KD needs a Chris Paul kind of point guard.
Yeah.
And Russell Westbrook needs a big man.
Kevin
Love. Cousins or Kevin Love.
Something of that nature.
Big scoring guy.
That could clean up all his 19 misses a game.
A defensive guy, you know. I think Westbrook might go back to the Lakers.
I think that if Westbrook goes to the Lakers, then it's going to depend if he goes first. If Westbrook goes to the Lakers first,
it all depends on this draft.
Then we could
this
see
draft is huge.
Right. Then we could see the Kevin Love effect. If Westbrook goes, they played together at UCLA. Love is especially if Cleveland doesn't win. I don't think Love's going to leave. But if Westbrook goes to the Lakers
and
Cleveland doesn't win,
it depends on the lottery. What if the Lakers win the lottery? There's a chance they win the lottery. They jump up. They take that. There's even a chance. It's highly unlikely. OKC can win the lottery.
Yeah.
All right. You get Towns or Okafor, and you wouldn't mind trading away Westbrook. You know, maybe get Chris Paul.
Right.
Who knows if
there could be a lot of moves this offseason, but
you never
think
know.
about.
I'm not saying that's going to happen.
Look at the Thunder, who they've had. Think about what their lineup could be if they didn't have to get. They had Westbrook.
WICR, rocking the campus in New Rochelle.
Excuse me. There you go. Ooh.
Yeah, think about that.
Accidentally clicked the
Westbrook, Harden, Kevin Martin, Durant, Ibaka. Think about all these guys. Jeff Green, even. They've had to trade away a lot of pieces, and the fact that they've still been on top of their game. Cantor looks great. He really looked great to end the season. Yeah, he said he just had a knee surgery, but they're not going to lose a step next year. Whether they lose, I just don't think that Durant and Westbrook can win together. It doesn't seem.
I never thought that either.
It just doesn't. And it's a shame because I think they're two of the top 5 players in the NBA. But it's just
when they're
the
going
play style.
right,
the play style doesn't.
Harden,
doesn't
Curry,
match.
LeBron. There, 5. There you go.
They've had their games where they both have 35 and it's amazing, whatever. But you see when Westbrook has a triple double where he scores over 30, they don't win. It's the play style. Iverson didn't win anything, so it's a scoring point guard thing.
All right. Well, we are gonna go take a 5-minute break. Up next, Yankees Mets Subway Series.
Can't wait.
It's not 2000 anymore.
No.
So we'll be back in a couple minutes. Chris will join us. He missed this session because whatever reason.
Excuses.
I guess he was watching the Knicks game last night. He didn't get much sleep.
Yeah.
Was that it? The Knicks game? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? All right, we'll be back in a few.
We're going to play physical football. And you